I, 20F, think my boyfriend, 21M, is stealing things out of my bag. Edit, thank you so much for all the advice. I'm super grateful as it helps me work things out. I just want to be clear on one thing, I have no proof he's stealing from my bag, only my gut instinct, and he's not controlling in any other part of the relationship. Just loving and kind, which is why I'm so confused. Okay, so I'm sorry if this is long and there is a chance this is all in my head, but I think I have an issue with my boyfriend of 2 years. I'm young and uni, so me and my friends like to go out on girly nights and have fun, as friends do. Typically we all like to get ready to go out together, kind of like pre-drinks where everyone does their hair and makeup and chats about the night ahead. Standard stuff. My boyfriend is more reserved than I am and isn't really a clubbing or house party kind of guy. So whenever we get ready we do it at my friend's flat across town so that we don't get in the way of whatever he wants to do and he doesn't feel overcrowded with like 6 or 8 girls running round our flat. Here's where the problem comes in. Whenever I get to my friend's with my bag and we start to get ready, there is always, and I mean always, something missing from my bag. An eyeliner here, an ID there, etc. The weirdest one was when I got to my friend's house and I only had one of my shoes in the bag, despite the fact I'm sure I packed them both. This inevitably leads to me having to go back to my boyfriend's to get whatever has been left behind, and when I get there he always studies my outfit and sometimes makes me put on a jacket, or change into another outfit completely. In short, I think my boyfriend is stealing things out of my bag so that I have to go back to ours and he can check/approve of my outfit. Don't get me wrong, I know he's only being protective and looking out for me because he's jealous of what other guys might do or think based on what I'm wearing, but I feel suffocated. I hate the fact he's not even approaching it with me directly, instead he's sneaking round and stealing things out of my bag. Sounds so small but it's getting ridiculous. I don't know if it's all in my head or what to do anymore. Too long didn't read. Whenever I go to my friends to get ready there is something missing from my bag, so I have to go back to get it where my boyfriend inspects my outfits. My crazy ex used to criticize everything I wore when going out, so over time I changed the way I dressed. Then it started being argumentative debates about why he couldn't go with me on girls' nights out. The clue is in the name, girls' night out. Until I'd get so frustrated being talked around in circles over and over that most of the time I wouldn't go. Then it turned into full-blown vicious nitpicking fights that wouldn't stop until he'd made me cry, at which point I couldn't go anywhere because my eyes were red and swollen, my makeup wrecked, and I was an all-around mess. I stopped doing anything that wasn't work or spending time with him, and he loved it like that. Your BF is being manipulative, controlling and gaslighting you. How many times have you questioned yourself and wondered if you were losing your marbles when things you knew you'd put in your bag weren't there? There is no talking this out. There is no loving him into being better. There is only gradual escalation and isolation. Get out now. Don't get me wrong, I know he's only being protective and looking out for me because he's jealous of what other guys might do or think based on what I'm wearing, but I feel suffocated. He's being a control creep and underhanded about it, so no wonder you feel suffocated. This isn't loving behavior. This is not a small thing. This is really disturbing. It's controlling, it's unhealthy, and it's totally not a normal thing to do. It's also disturbing he can't just talk to you about his concerns or whatever. Is he controlling in other ways? This is not okay. He's not being protective of you. He is being controlling. The fact that you can't see it for what it is makes me wonder if he's low-key been undermining you throughout the entire relationship and feels comfortable enough to escalate because you haven't called him on his shit and told him that he isn't treating you like your own person. He's not being protective. He's being controlling. His behavior is just going to get worse as time goes on. My wife's 27F weight is getting to be an issue in our relationship. 27M. For the record, it's not because of any change in sexual attraction. I'm still attracted to her and personally don't have any issue with her weight. The issue is how her weight affects her. This has been going on a few months now. We've been together 9 years. My wife is insecure about her body. She's always attempted weight loss but found it hard to stick to, calorie counting, etc., and has never enjoyed any kind of exercise. But lately her insecurity has gotten worse. If she's hungry she insists I eat with her even if I'm not hungry. If I don't eat, she sulks. She thinks my low sex drive is because of her weight. It's not. I just have a low sex drive compared to most men, and insists I be honest and say I'm not into her. I'll ask to go for a walk or do something semi-active and she says no, that she doesn't want her lack of physical fitness to be on display. I just want to go for a walk with my wife, not sit on the couch all the time. It's hard for me to talk about this with her because any mention of her weight makes her anxious. Like I said, I have no problem with the weight itself, just these other effects. What can I do about this? Too long didn't read. My wife is insecure about her weight and this is causing issues with our relationship. Be straight with her. She needs to make changes for her mental well-being and your relationship. This tennis is not maintainable long term. If she is miserable the relationship won't work. The parting and making you eat whenever she eats is very childish. I, 47F, was in the same situation as your wife. I gained 60 pounds from the pregnancy of my 2 children. When I was young the weight came off easily. After the pregnancies it was incredibly more difficult to lose and I was in postpartum depression. The weight did not affect how my husband felt about me, but it affected how I felt about myself. I felt ugly, I felt terrible in general. I didn't want to have sex because I was so self-conscious. And it didn't help if he mentioned anything about working out or eating less because even though he wasn't judging me, it felt that way. It's a terrible lose-lose situation. Finally I was able to motivate myself and I lost the weight on my own. That was 6 years ago. I do not envy you in this situation, and I feel terribly bad for her also because I know how she feels. The only thing I can think to offer, without mentioning the topic specific to weight, reassure her that you love her and you are worried about her. Are you happy? Do you feel fulfilled? If she says no, then offer to support her in whatever she needs to do to get better. Does she want counseling? Does she need time for herself? Has she gone to the doc and checked her vitamin B levels? And reinforce that all she has to do is ask and you will support. But it has to be her move. She's in an endless loop. I worry about my weight. I won't do anything about it. Repeat. Therapy is a great idea, and people act like it's easy to get and or pay for. Not sure if that's the case. Does she have access to an EAP, Employee Assistance Program? She's self-sabotaging. She is literally going to stay in this spiral until you have had enough and break up with her, because she for some reason has to be proven right in her insecurities. Tell her that you won't compromise your health for her hunger, that she needs to find her own motivation for health, whether that be with diet changes, exercise, or therapy, or a combination. If she can't do that, you can't help her. All of this has to be her first. If she won't accept the change in herself, she is going to continue to spiral. I think she should definitely seek therapy. Her weight issues are definitely affecting her mental health and she'll never be able to lose the weight, if that's what she wants, if she doesn't sort her mental health first. Couples therapy would be nice if you feel you can't talk to her without it leading to disaster. If none of these work, consider going your separate ways. There's no use in staying together and being miserable. Good luck, Hop. I've mentioned therapy before. She insists she's okay and this is just natural worrying about her weight and worrying that I'm not attracted to her. I know my low sex drive is something she takes personally, but it honestly has nothing to do with her. Considering going non-contact after repeated attempts by family to leech off me. I made a post in another sub about this, but this has been a trend for the last few years. My parents and whole extended family have never been very responsible or successful financially. I on the other hand have had some decent success early in my career. I'm only 27, but now I get treated like I should be another breadwinner when my focus is more on setting up a future of comfort for myself. This week my dad told me my stepbro, who I don't like at all, is doing an internship in my city and he wants him to be able to stay with me for it. I really didn't want to, and after pondering it told him my answer is no for a myriad of reasons, and that's final. I woke up today to a long text message about the importance of family, and honestly I think it's bullshit. I don't consider him family and it just feels like he's trying to use me. Highly considering going no contact with him at least for a while, but I've never done anything like this, so I wanted to hear from anyone who may have experience with this. TL, Doctor, tired of being expected to provide for my family members and really considering taking a break from all communication. Boundaries are so important. If someone is asking too much, then remember why you have your lines in the sand. One of my favorite quotes is, if I say no to someone and they get angry, that doesn't mean I should have said yes. You do what is best for your mental health. Take a break from your family. It will probably be peaceful. You don't owe them anything, especially when all they do is take, and never give. I remember talking to a healthy employed 45-year-old woman at a company picnic who was thrilled that her 6 children were postponing college and marriages and basically all their own plans for their own futures and working whatever jobs they could get to buy her a house. She giggled and admitted that her youngest had started stripping. She said in this creepy baby voice, "They take such good care of me." I had to walk away before I told her just how sick that was. It's a parent's job to parent. I can't believe how many people out there don't know this. Crazy bastards, all over the place. If dad thinks family is important, why is he asking you to take on a non-paying boarder, rather than finding and paying for his own son's living space? I have very little contact with my family, and they haven't even done that much to me. Scrape them off. The whole family comes first thing is overrated.